Picture this, it's the late 18th century, and North Carolina is a bustling British colony brimming with tobacco plantations, pine forest, and a fiercely independent spirit. The air is thick with the smell of pine tar, hence the nickname the Tar Heel State, and whispers of rebellion are spreading like wildfire through the dense, swampy landscape. This is the stage upon which North Carolina played its remarkable role in the American Revolution. From the get-go, North Carolinians were never one to shy away from a fight. Long before the Boston Tea Party, or the skirmishes of Lexington and Concord, they had their own brush with the rebellion. The regulator movement of the 1760s saw backcountry farmers rise up against corrupt colonial officials and unfair taxation. Though this rebellion was ultimately crushed at the Battle of Alamance in 1771, the spirit of defiance set the tone for what was to come. Fast forward to 1774, and the revolutionary fervor had reached a boiling point. Entered the ladies of Edenton, who staged one of the earliest organized political actions by women in the colonies. Known as the Edenton Tea Party, 51 daring women gathered outside and boldly signed a resolution to boycott British tea and other goods. This act of defiance was a slap in the face to the British authority and showed that North Carolinians, men and women alike, were ready to stand up for their rights. One of North Carolina's most celebrated contributions to the Revolutionary War came on February 27, 1776, at Moores Creek Bridge. In early 1776, British Royal Governor Joshua Martin initiated a plan to reassert control of the rebellious North Carolina. Martin coordinated his efforts with Lord George Germain, who dispatched a British army under Major General Henry Clinton to assist Martin in taking back control of the colony. In preparation for Clinton's imminent arrival off the coast, Martin issued a call to arms for all loyalists on January 10. The men who turned out, largely of Scottish descent, assembled at Cross Creek, modern-day Fayetteville, under Brigadier General Donald MacDonald. His loyalist forces began marching towards Wilmington to join the main British army. Shortly after midnight on February 27th, MacDonald formed his men and was headed towards a bridge at Moores Creek when they were ambushed by a group of Patriot militia led by Colonel Richard Caswell, with a force of North Carolina Patriot militia to block the Loyalist path. The Patriots had removed the planks from the bridge and greased up the support beams. When the Loyalists attempted to cross, they found themselves slipping and sliding into a deadly trap. As the fighting intensified, Loyalist Captain John Campbell shouted, "King George and the broadswords," and led his company across the creek. MacDonald ordered a charge, and his men approached the Patriot works. Caswell then ordered his men to open up with rifle fire and artillery. The volley devastated the Loyalist ranks and forced MacDonald to retreat. Elated with their successes, the Patriots launched a pursuit, chasing the Loyalists from the field. The resulting Patriot victory was swift and decisive, boosting the morale and quashing the Loyalist sentiment in the region. The victory at Moores Creek Bridge solidified Patriot control of North Carolina and helped embolden the Second Continental Congress to move towards independence from Great Britain later that year. North Carolina continued to lead the charge for independence. On April 12, 1776, the 4th Provincial Congress of North Carolina met in Halifax and passed the Halifax Resolves. This document was the first official call for independence by any colony, urging the Continental Congress to declare the American colonies free from British rule. It was a bold move and showcased North Carolina's commitment to the revolutionary cause. As the war raged on, North Carolina remained a hotbed for revolutionary activity. The Battle of Guilford Courthouse in 1781 was a pivotal moment. Although technically a British victory, it was a Pyrrhic one, meaning the victory came at a great cost, perhaps making the ordeal to win not truly worth it. On the American side stood General Nathanael Greene, a Rhode Island Quaker turned military leader, who had taken command of the Southern Continental Army. Greene was a savvy general, known for his ability to wear down opponents through cunning tactics and relentless harassment. His army was a mix of seasoned regulars and raw militia, as it waited in 3 staggered lines, ready to absorb the blunt British assault. Opposing Greene is Lord Charles Cornwallis, a confident British general determined to crush the rebellion in the South. His redcoats, disciplined and battle-hardened, formed up for the attack, their bayonets gleaming in the morning light. Cornwallis knows that victory here could cripple the American resistance in the Carolinas and pave the way for British dominance in the southern colonies. As the battle begins, the British advance, measured in precision, their drums and fifes playing a menacing tune. They smash into the first American militia line, who fire a volley and then retreat into the woods. Cornwallis's men push forward, only to face a second line of more determined fighters. The fighting is fierce, with musket fire crackling through the trees and smoke hanging heavy in the air. Despite heavy losses, the British press on, eventually breaking through the third and final line, where Greene's Continentals make their final stand. In the chaos, Cornwallis makes a desperate decision. He orders his artillery to fire grape shot into the melee, risking his own troops to break the American line. Grape shot is similar to shotgun fire, as it spreads out multiple projectiles, clearing the field of anyone who stands before it. Ultimately though, this gamble pays off, as Greene orders a retreat, leaving the field to the British. But victory comes at a high cost. Cornwallis's army is shattered, having suffered significant casualties. In a cruel twist of fate, the British win the battle but lose the war. Their weakened forces are unable to maintain control over the South, and Cornwallis is forced to march his army to Virginia, where he will eventually surrender at Yorktown later that year, effectively ending the war. The Battle of Guilford Courthouse is a testament to the tenacity and resilience of the American spirit. Though Greene's forces did not win the day, they inflicted a mortal wound on the British army, setting the stage for ultimate victory. This clash in the Carolina wilderness reminds us that sometimes, even in apparent defeat, the seeds of triumph are sown. With the war over, North Carolina played a key role in the birth of a new nation. The state ratified the U.S. Constitution in 1789, becoming the 12th state to join the Union. Its leaders and citizens worked tirelessly to rebuild and lay the foundation for a free and prosperous society. Well, not fully free until after the Civil War, but we'll get to that at a later date. North Carolina's history during the Revolutionary War is a testament to its resilience and rebellious spirit. From the fiery women of Edenton to the strategic genius at Moore's Creek, the state was a crucible of revolutionary fervor. The Halifax Resolves lit the path to independence, and the sacrifices made on its battlefields paved the way for a new nation. So, next time you hear the term Tar Heel, remember the brave souls who stood their ground, fought for freedom, and helped shape the course of American history.